Just to clarify something, you were last week was just a precaution for you. You never actually became ill.
Gary, I'm not going to discuss the COVID stuff.
Okay.
There's protocols and stuff that we have to follow, and I was in the protocol, and it's just good to be back in the building today.
Okay. What was that experience like last week as far as how much contact we're able to have with the players through Zoom meetings? How much coaching do you think you actually did? And then what was your day like on Sunday?
You know what? The days were the same because we're doing virtual meetings. I just did it from a hotel room for 10 days. And, so we do the installs and we communicate the game plan and stuff just like we do if we're sitting in our office. So I think that went really smooth for our whole coaching staff. And obviously the coaches were able to come in on Saturday and go through the walkthrough with the players. I thought they did a tremendous job. I think our players did a tremendous job. We were able to watch practice. Some of the veterans were leading the drills and stuff, so now they know some of the things that we go through. But I think it's a credit to our players and our coaches once they got in the building to make sure that we had a game plan ready. I think the players did a nice job of going out and executing it. Obviously, we fell short, and that's not what we want. But I think there's a lot of credit given to our players going through adversity we had last week. Sunday was tough. There's no doubt. Sitting and watching it on TV, there was obviously some frustration. But at the same time, I really like to see how the guys went out there and competed in this adverse situation. And, obviously we fell short, and that's not what our goal is. But I think there's a lot of credit to our players through this transition this past week.
And are you just finally watching a game on TV? Did you watch it by yourself? And if you did, are you kind of glad you did? I mean, did you get emotional? Did you ever throw anything at the TV screen?
I watched it by myself. 10 days in isolation is not a lot of fun. But I got excited at times and I got frustrated at times. I think the biggest thing is it was just so different watching it, through the TV, like a fan would probably. But once again, I think it's just a credit to our players how hard they went out and played last week.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Gary. We'll go to John Shipley.
Hey, Coach. Gerard Wilson got nominated for the Bart Starr Award. Can you just talk a little bit about his leadership and kind of what it is to coach a player like him, just, the type of man he is?
Obviously we've had, Jared since we got him as a college free agent. Seen him. You got a train going by? We got to really see him mature and grow over the last, 3-4 years that we've had Jared. He's a tremendous person. He takes control of that room. He's a great professional, and he was that way early on coming out. And he understood what he needed to do to develop himself as an individual and just naturally turn into a leader within that group. He's a great leader, not just in that group, but obviously with our team. He's a guy that as a coaching staff, we can bounce things off of. We ask him questions. He's a true leader, and it's great to see where he's came from to obviously being nominated for this award.
And Coach, just a quick follow-up. How much of a testament is it to him and his growth that he went from an undrafted player to, now he's a second-year starter?
I think it's a lot of credit to him, obviously with his work ethic. He loves football. He goes out and he plays when he's banged up. He sucks it up and he plays and does what's best for our football team. And the team is always first with him. And I think that's just, credit to the kid and how he's matured over the years.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Thanks, Chip. We'll go back to Gary.
Sorry, Coach. What does Adam Gotsis do that kind of goes beyond the stats? You look at it, you say, okay, no sacks, but what kind of contribution does he give to you that really can't be measured?
I think his toughness that he brings obviously to that room. We brought Adam in as a first and second down player to be a run defender, play within our 4B, which is not a big stat position, on first and second down. So I think he's done all those things. I think he's a natural leader in that group. He's a good guy to once again bounce some stuff off of him as a coaching point for Rebs of the things that obviously we can do better to continue to get those guys better. but what he brings is just straight toughness. He gets in there, he bangs. Obviously coming off an ACL, he hasn't missed any time. Just his work ethic and toughness really shows us who he is, and that was what we wanted when we got him, and we're extremely happy to have him.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Gary. We'll go to Demetrius.
Hey, Coach, what did you see out of your young corners last week on tape? Just Luke Barku and Josiah Scott.
With both of them, I thought it was really good to see how they got their feet wet with a lot of playing time and a lot of reps. I think you're going to continue to see them get better. I was very pleased with Josiah's toughness, especially in the slot. Being fitting in the run game, had good fits. Had some coverage issues early on and some matchup stuff, but I thought both of them played extremely well for being the first time out with a lot of reps. And I think they're only going to get better as this season goes on because they're going to continue to get reps, obviously.
What sort of challenge do they have this week going up against a guy like Adam Thielen?
Well, obviously you got Thielen and you also got Robinson on the other side. So it's going to be a tough matchup. We're going to do some things to hopefully kind of take the deep ball away from them, make them earn everything they have. They know that they have a tough challenge, but at the same time, I think both of them are really excited about it. We're going to find out exactly where they are versus a couple really elite receivers. And, I like where their mind frame is right now to go in and compete with them.
Thank you.
Thanks, Demetrius. We'll wrap up with JP.
Hey, Todd, to that point, what's Kirk Cousins doing so well right now? I think he's over 100 rating the last 5 weeks or so, and they can balance it out, obviously, with Cook in that running game. What makes those guys so effective?
Well, obviously, Cook is an explosive running back. He's a touchdown waiting every time he carries the football. He can bounce it, get to the outside, and outrun people, and then he's got good physical ability between the tackles, runs behind his pads extremely well. So obviously, I think that's where their offense starts. That's been Kubiak ever since, we played him for many, many years. It all starts with the running game. But once it goes to the quarterback, teams are getting in the 8-man fronts and that kind of stuff to stop the ball. So you got single coverage outside, and he's putting the ball on the mark. They take their shots outside. He's extremely accurate, and he's obviously completing some of those go balls on the outside. So, that's a concern of ours. Once you get to third down, he's making real good decisions, getting the ball to players in space. They got, a couple wide receivers like we talked about that can really make plays and extend plays once they catch the ball. So he's really making good, sharp decisions within the passing game, not only on first and second down, but third down.
All right. Thanks, Shadrick. Thank you, Coach. We'll be back here after practice with Joe Schobert and Jared Wilson. Thank you.